Okay, so we're back in class about to go over some. We're not on the board, but we are live on the screen, so that's okay. It is a Monday here at school. It's the Monday before Halloween, so at least that the full moon was last week and not this week when kids are all hopped up on Halloween candy. Kind of makes life a little bit easier. I also want to thank my 50 plus subscribers, and if you hadn't subscribed, go ahead and hit subscribe, hit that bell, hit the like, all that other kind of fun stuff. All right, so as I told y'all on the other day, that this has changed. The directions for this part just says solve. It doesn't say solve by this method or anything like that. It just says solve because that's how it's going to be on the ACT, SATs, things like that. All right. Now, this one is set up for graphing if you wanted to do graphing. Okay. This one, our B is 6 and our M is -1 over 1, which means down 1 to the right 1. Okay. So we would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and up and over a bunch of times. And it's okay if you do the dots. I would prefer you do dots because it's easy to get the dots right. It's sometimes not easy to get the lines right. Okay. And if we look at this one right here, I'll do this one in blue. RB is -6. Our M is 2 over 1, which means up to the right 1. So I got to go down here, -6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I'm not even touching that, and it's making a dot. What's up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So there's where I start. So I go over 1, up 2. Bam. Yeah. Yeah, I will make sure that you can see the squares on your paper tomorrow. I know that was it's okay. All right. Now, this intersection happens right here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, up 2. Now, you could also set this up for substitution by setting them equal to each other. So you could have said that 2x minus 6 equals -x plus 6. You could have actually done it. Now, to answer your question, yes, I know the grid didn't show up that great. I'll fix that on the test. But if you had a test like this where the grid didn't show up that great, you have other options. Okay, you technically could have multiplied either the top or the bottom by -1 and canceled out the y's, and you did elimination that way, or you could set it up for substitution this way. It doesn't matter. You're always going to get the same answer. Okay. All right. Not too bad, except for the grid. Okay. And I told y'all that the order wouldn't change. The first one was more likely graphing, the second one substitution, the third one elimination. Okay. So tired. Oh, my stop oxygen theft sign is showing up so much better. It's because it's cloudy. All right. Are we good in the classroom? Ready to move on? All right. Good. I got a thumbs up from one. All right. So this one, we have a variable on one side by itself. It's set up for substitution. That means I'm going to take all of this and plug it in right here for y. Now, I'm going to plug this in without using the parentheses this time. The reason why is because this is understood to have a 1 in front of it, so it's just going to be that stuff anyways. Now, I've done this different ways. Sometimes I confuse people, sometimes I don't. Potato, potato. All right, so I've substituted. Let me go ahead and get my highlighter right here so I can, yep, there we go. All right, now, We don't have to distribute, but we do need to combine like terms. So we have negative 4 plus 3. This ends up becoming negative 1x. All right. Now I need to move this 2 over here by subtracting. I get negative, you could say negative 1x or negative x, either one. All right. We should know by now that this is going to be the opposite of whatever, because we're going to have to divide by that negative 1 or whatever. We should get x equals 4. Okay. Bam. Okay. Now, which one are we going to use, the top or the bottom, to actually find our y? Top. Yeah. Top one's the easiest one. All right. So we plug in this 4. So 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2, we get 14. All right. So we get 414 for this one. Now, it could always be worse. We don't want it to be, but it could always be worse. And, we're just kind of doing what we always do, just kind of chugging along, taking it bit by bit. Okay. And remember, each one of these problems are 6 points apiece because there's so much going on. Okay. There's so much going on. All right. Number 2. Again, you could use any method that you want to, but this one is set up for elimination, and this is why. We look. There's this. There's this. There's this. All right. These two are not same terms, different signs. Neither is the y, but they're all lined up. Which variable do you think is going to be the easiest to get rid of? The other one. Y. Yeah. All right. So we're going to get rid of y. Now, if this practice test seems harder than it did on Friday, that's fine. It's a Monday, but I like my practice test to be a little bit harder than the actual test. Okay, that because you want to practice harder than you actually play. All right. So now think about this. Here's the bottom one. All right. If I want this to become a positive 2y, what would I have to multiply this by to make it be positive 2y? Yeah, a negative. Yeah, a negative what? Nope. Yeah, a negative 2. All right. So this would be negative 4x. Okay. Negative 22. All right. And we go back and look at the highlighters. All right. So we see that our y's will cancel. Pew, because that was the goal. All right. Negative 4 plus 3 is just negative 1x again. Negative 22 plus 19 is negative 3. Nice. So we get x equals 3. So we can put that right there. All right. Now, it doesn't matter which one we use. We could use top or bottom. Top. Okay. I'm cool with that. So we're going to plug in. All right. So my x is 3. All right. Let's see. 2 times 3 is 6. And if I subtract 6 from both sides, hang on. I'll just move my face. That's easier to do. All right. We get negative y equals 5. Well, we know we're going to have to do something to get rid of that negative 1. So we would divide. So we would actually end up getting negative 5 as our answer right here. Okay. So goodness gracious, I've had enough sleep and caffeine. I don't know what is going on. Not had enough either. Yes, sir. Oh, right here. This right here. Okay. Hang on. Let me do this. All right. So let's follow the smiley face. So if we looked in this green column, if I was to get rid of x, I was going to have to multiply the top and the bottom by something to make one of them be positive 6x, the other one be negative 6x. Okay. If I look right here, this is a negative 2. So I need the additive inverse. I need the same terms, different signs. So this is where I said if we can change this to a positive 2, they'll cancel. Okay. And so I just multiplied both sides by negative 2 to get this. Okay. Now, the one on the test, it's kind of like the one we had on Friday where it was just very obvious. You didn't have to multiply. You just, bam, that's it. That may how it is on one of the tests. Okay. Um, I've actually got to start working on that later today. Hopefully I can get those made and copied during the fourth block because I have a feeling there's stuff to do at home. Oh, and I'm getting a haircut today. Nah, 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 nah. Getting a new hairstyle with, getting a little blue thrown in. I'm getting my hair dyed to be like camo colors, so I'll have like brown and green and stuff in it. Would that not be hilarious? That would be hilarious. Well, sometimes, well, sometimes if it looks like poop, crap happens. No, super pun intended. Okay, so who said Mr. Jeffries? Oh, it's Mr. Jeffries. Yeah, there's no telling what's going to happen. All right, so we are plugging this stuff in everywhere we see X and Y. So I plugged in negative 5 here. I'm going to plug in negative 3. All right, I get, negative 5. Duh. All right, minus, let's see, this is negative 9. All right, remember, minus a negative becomes what? Plus a positive. So negative 5 plus 9 is 4. So it works for the first one. Okay. So now we need to see if it's going to work for the second one. All right. So we'll just take this down here. Yes. Right here in green, because it was negative 5 minus negative 9. Yep. Good question, though. Negative 5, negative 3. Bless you. All right. So we plugged in the negative 5, negative 3. Okay. All right. Let's see. 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. Plus 7 times negative 3 is negative 21. Does this equal 35? I'm thinking a big no, because if you add -10 and -21, this is a plus. It's not a minus, a negative. It doesn't change. I get -31. Now I'm pretty sure that -31 is not the same as 35. So it works for the first one, but not the second one. So this would be just a big fat no. Okay. It's got to work for both. Got to work for both. All right. Not too bad. Yes. No. Probably. Huh? Yeah, you got to check both. Because remember, it's a system. It's got to work for both. Okay. All right. Now, number 5 looks a little bit different than the problem like we had on Friday. Just, not being mean, but, just saying. All right. On A, this one would actually be set up for elimination, because I can multiply this bottom by -1, the sevens, the x's will cancel, or I can multiply the bottom by, -2 like we did the top. B is set up for graphing, because both the y's are one side by itself. Number C would be elimination, because, I mean, it's very obvious. That's a positive 5x and negative 5x. And then D over here would be substitution, only because we have a variable on one side by itself. Now, you're not going to have 4 parts where you have to say blah, 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 blah. This will be which one of these would best be solved by substitution? Which one of these would be best solved by graphing? Which one of these would be best solved by elimination? Okay, that's how it's going to be set up. All right, we good here? All right, moving on. All right, so I don't know how we went from number 5 to number 8. I guess, 6 and 7 just totally disappeared, or Mr. Jeffries just does not know how to number. It's one of the two. All right, now let's do what we're supposed to. This one's set up for substitution. I'm going to take all this and plug it in right there. So this, I got to plug in -5x and then +6. Okay, so I just happen to plug this stuff in. All right, let's put my highlighter bar right there. All right. Now, if we combine like terms, what happens to our x's? They cancel, they disappear, because 5x plus -5x is the same thing as 5 minus 5. So we end up with 6 equals 15. Can 6 equal 15? No, this would be no solution. Okay. And see, what's funny is this part of the standard is not can you solve them, it's can you get an answer that's either no solution or IMS, or all real number, or something like that. Okay. Now, if we look at our columns, whoops, can't even color right. So they're all lined up. What do we notice in our columns? What do we notice in the yellow and the green? Yeah, you could eliminate something and you could choose which one to get rid of. You could get rid of X or you could get rid of Y. Okay. Now I'm going to leave this top equation alone. Okay. All right. So this one, I want to get rid of Y. That means I want this down here now to become a minus 2Y. All right. That way they would cancel. Yeah, I'd have to multiply it by 2. Very good. So this is 2x. Okay. And then this is 12. And I think I have this problem set up wrong, but it's okay. All right. Because technically you were supposed to get this on both of them. Oh, no, you can actually solve this. Oh, well. So we get 4x. Ugh. I thought I had set this up so everything would cancel. It was supposed to be 0 plus 0 equals 0, but this is a bad problem. Bad. Okay. So it will be set up. They both won't be no solution. They both won't be IMS. It will be one or the other. Okay. So that's my bad. Yep. Okay. To the back. All right. It says define and set up, but do not solve. There we go. That's more better. All right. So a sporting goods store sells right-handed and left-handed gloves. Okay. In 1 month, 12 gloves were sold for amount of this. Okay. So let's think about it. We already have 3 parts of this problem already. What do we want X to be? Yeah, the right-handed. So we're going to say right-handed gloves. Okay, so if X is right-handed, what's Y? Okay, so left-handed gloves. All right. How many did they sell in 1 month? 12. So that would mean this would be X plus Y equals 12. All right. What was their total for selling these gloves? 561. How much are the right-handed gloves? Left-handed? And that's it. That's all you had to do. Why are the left-handed gloves so much more expensive? Because they actually have more people that are right-handed, so there is an abundance of right-handed gloves more than there is of an abundance of left-handed gloves. No, in baseball, you don't wear 2 gloves on each hand in baseball. That would be funny if you did, but you have 1 glove to catch, 1 glove to throw. Okay? You were thinking more about like lacrosse or football or something like that where they come in a pair, right? Okay, that makes more better sense. Okay. All right. So we got that set up. We don't solve it. That's awesome because sometimes the hardest part of this is setting it up. All right, number 11. Thomas has $1.95 in his pocket. Apparently, Thomas sounds like he is in a Western walking down the street and his spurs are jingling because of all the change in his pockets. Okay? It's made up of 27 nickels and dimes. How many of each does he have? We have everything we need to know. What can we set X to be? Yeah, And so y would be, okay, so how many coins does he have total? So that would be x plus y equals 27. All right. How much total does he have? Okay. Now here's the trick question. How much is a nickel worth? 0.05. Shh. How much is a dime worth? 0.10y. So now, these are the problems that we used to make people solve all the time, and it was torture for everybody in the room, for the students, for the teachers, everybody. It was not fun. Okay? Not fun at all. All right. Yeah, I had so many people that said, it doesn't tell us how much a nickel or a dime is worth. Yeah, that's one of those common knowledge things. You don't like number 12? Why not? Okay, well, the student said they don't like this one because it says one number is four more than three times the second number. All right, so before we do this, what do you think we need to do first? Yep, so what's x? Yeah, first number. What's y? Second number. All right, so that's 4 points that we got in our favor. All right, it says one number. Well, that's x is four more than three times the second number. Or you could have it written like this, or some people would write it like this. Either one is fine. Okay. It says the difference of the two numbers is 18. So that would mean what? Yeah, x minus y equals 18. Now, all we have to do is solve. Now, you could do elimination. I know some people would do that. I would personally do substitution. I would take all this and plug it in where I had x. So I would have 3y plus 4 minus y equals 18. All right. So we plugged it in. We've got our highlighter bar up there to let us remind each other that we need to distribute on the same side or combine like terms. So we are actually going to have to combine 3y minus y. So if I have 3 Reese cups and I eat one of them, how many Reese cups do I have? 2. All right. So now I would need to subtract this 4. And then divide by 2. So I get y equals 7. All right. Now we know that y equals 7. How are we going to find x? Huh? Yeah, use the top. That's what I would do. It's the easiest one. Okay, so I plugged in my 7. Yes, that's a 7. I know it's got, bless you, it's got a tail on it. I'll fix you. Bless you again. Y'all need to quit sneezing all the time. It's almost like y'all are allergic to this classroom. Just allergic to math. Okay. So I get 25. So hold up, slow down. All right, I need to move myself. This is not moving. There we go. All right. Now, things for your actual test tomorrow, both the in class and the at home. I will make sure that the problems are set up correctly. I will make sure that the problems are numbered correctly. I will also make sure that you can see the grid if you want to use the grid. Okay. Because remember, how many different tests do you get tomorrow? 2. One to take in class and one to take at home. All right. So for my subscribers, thank you for subscribing. Don't forget, need to hit the bell, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Good stuff, good things. Roll Tide.